Mom? I glance up while cooking dinner as I look at my daughter. Yes, I'm pregnant. My eyes bug out as my hand tips the pot over with the spaghetti sauce, burning my hands in the process. Damn it, I muttered as my daughter, Izzy, rushed over and grabbed some paper towels. She started wiping up the mess as I ran my hands under some cold water. Are you okay, Mom? Izzy asked in concern. I glare at my daughter with a frown. Which part? My hands that have burned now? Or the fact that my only daughter of 15 just came to me and told me she's pregnant? I yelled out the last part, unable to withhold my shock, which came out as anger. I was allowed to be angry at this point. I had gone over time and time again with Izzy about safe practice, about the chances that a willy wrapper will break, and how birth control can fail. In a fit of rage, I glared at Izzy and asked, how old am I? Izzy paused in wiping up the sauce from the counter. It was one way to drive the point home to Izzy. Her eyes slid back and forth before her mouth dropped open with an, oh. My hands shook under the water. Yeah, oh, say it out loud, I demanded of her as her eyes squeezed shut. She didn't want to admit it. You're 30 years old, Mom. Yes. And how old are you? I questioned pointedly. I watch as Izzy swallows and answers, I'm 15. The silence was deafening besides the sound of the water still running over my red inflamed hands. So many emotions were battling within me. Frustration, anger, worry, calmness. I took a deep breath. Oh yes, Izzy. I am trying my hardest not to slap you silly and ground you till the moon breaks open like an egg. So please explain it to me. Explain it to me. How? I waved my hand at her. Ever happened in the first place? I demanded as I turned the faucet off. Izzy finished wiping the counters down and tossed the paper towels in the trash. She leaned on the island with her head bowed as she slid the pregnancy test towards me. What the heck were you thinking, Izzy? I asked in a tight voice, trying my hardest from snapping as I grabbed the pregnancy test. There was no denying it. The pregnancy test was positive. Frustrated tears leak out of my eyes. Yet Izzy still won't look at me. Izzy mumbled something that I couldn't hear. Speak up and dang well look at me when I am talking to you or you are talking to me. I glared at her, ignoring the pain from my hands as I shook the pregnancy test in front of Izzy. Izzy started to tremble before me as I tapped my foot impatiently, as my own panic grew in leaps and bounds at every second that passed. I could feel my heart ready to leap out of my chest in fear at Izzy's predicament, and anger at the unknown male who knocked my own daughter up. I felt like I was having a heart attack. It started small, touching. He was slow and eased me into it. I had to lean in to hear her soft whispers. I went on the shot. He wore a willy wrapper. Izzy looked at me across the island as she stared at me. I didn't mean to wind up pregnant, Mom, Lizzie said just as softly. My hands trembled at her words. Then what on earth happened? I was almost begging at this point. And what? I asked, trying to understand everything. Every little detail I could understand, I was going to find out. And Izzy paused before suddenly smiling at me. April Fools. My body froze completely as I stared at the positive pregnancy test before staring at Izzy. Joke shop next to my high school, Izzy said with an easygoing smile like she didn't just give me a heart attack. I paused before looking at my daughter. You ditched classes today to go to a joke shop? Is all I can question. Izzy paused as the grin slowly disappeared from her face. Joke, Mom, it's a joke, Izzy said as she slowly backed away from the island. My hands burning, I flipped one of my flip-flops off of my foot and into my hand as Izzy was already trying to run away. I won't ditch school ever again, she screamed as I let the flip-flop fly. With a satisfying thump, Izzy fell into the ground. Good thing you're not pregnant or that would have hurt it.